Since the great maple syrup wars of the 1800s, has our nation been so thoroughly dominated by our neighbors to the north the way we were Sunday night when our first guest achieved an historic Schitt sweep, winning all 7 Primetime Emmy Awards for comedy from Schitt's Creek. Please welcome Eugene Levy, Dan Levy, Annie Murphy, and Catherine O'Hara. Hello.
We won, eh? We won, eh?
Congratulations. You know, I think that not only am I personally happy for you guys, I think every kind of comedy nerd was delighted that you guys won all these awards on Sunday night. I really felt that backstage at the Emmys, for sure.
Wow. Well, I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah, well, it is a compliment.
It was bizarre. It was surreal. I swear. It was like I said on the night. I said it's like a dream you never want to wake up from.
Speaking of dreams, the next morning, like, how late did you guys stay, and who set up that big party you guys had that night?
Well, it was a two-parter, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because we had planned to have a much larger party because in Canada, up until what's that? What's going?
I was just cleaning the house.
I see.
Eugene's working with props now. It's pops with props.
We're trying to keep people on our side at this point, Dad. We're trying not to turn people.
You don't have to tell me about it.
Okay. Just trying to.
I'm always 2 steps ahead.
Absolutely. Yeah, the party. We had like a big party planned. In Canada, you could have a larger gathering because, you know, Canada's been doing good when it came to the COVID. And then obviously in true 2020 fashion, the night before our Emmy party, the government had to minimize the party size in half, which meant that we had a last-minute uninvitation ceremony, which had to happen for our lovely crew, which we were so excited to share the night with.
Oh, no.
So it was a strange kind of vibe going into the evening.
And all because the numbers had spiked to 380 across the entire province.
Who made those phone calls to the people who were invited and then uninvited?
Not us.
I was the first one to say, not me.
Well, there was a lot of celebration, not just in that tent you guys had set up, but all across Canada. The CN Tower and the Toronto sign were lit in gold in your honor. The Prime Minister tweeted about you. And I think maybe, best of all, your castmate / daughter / sister, Sarah. This is a video that's been making the rounds today. Let's take a look at that. That went on for like a full minute. Is Sarah okay?
She's not okay, no. We have not heard from her since. So, very unclear on her status at this point, but she was excited when the video was filmed.
Catherine, you gave a speech that I think Maura would have approved of. Did you know you were going to be the first Emmy out of the gate?
5 minutes before it happened, maybe less.
Wow.
And I thought, okay, I get it over. I convinced myself I wouldn't win. And I thought anybody who said I was going to win was just setting me up for a cruel, cruel evening. And so I convinced myself, and Annie's sitting beside me going, and I'm saying, no, no, no. And then it happened, and we went crazy.
You guys all won, win after win after win after win. And then we're backstage, and we're having a conversation going, oh, my God, I hope Annie wins, too, because this is going to be terrible. I mean, it's bad. It's tough enough to not win the Emmy, but to when everyone else on the show wins, and then, Annie, you're the last one up. Was that making you feel extra pressure?
Yes. Yes. It was awful. And at no point was I like, oh, well, we won this many. Now I'm going to win. It was more like internal monologue of just like, who am I going to apologize to first when I lose?
No, Annie.
That is very Canadian.
Tell them when I asked you if you'd written anything, just in case, tell them what you had. Show them what you had.
This is really embarrassing, actually. So Catherine and I were talking, and she was like, what are you going to say when you you know, what's your acceptance speech? Have you written an acceptance speech? And I was like, no, I haven't. I'm not going to win. She was like, well, what are you going to say if you win? And I was like, I don't know. I'll probably something like this. I'll just go up to the podium and do that for 45 seconds. And then Catherine was riffing on it.
I said, I hope you win. I hope you win, and that's all you got.
Different tables, and each table can do a different sound effect. It'll be great. So thank goodness that didn't happen.
It's not too late.
Really all I had
we can work that into the show if you want to moisten. I think one of the things that maybe, I don't know, was almost as cool as winning the Emmy, maybe even cooler, was we'd asked a bunch of celebrities what's your favorite show, and Elton John said Schitt's Creek was his favorite, and he spoke about your show. Now, that had to be great, right? I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it was. It was. I mean, my eyes were popping with that when that came on. I'd met him a couple of years ago at a Vanity Fair party, and discovered that he and his partner David were huge fans of the show. And then I ran around the party looking for Daniel.
I got a text from my dad saying, we're with Elton John, come find us. And at that party, there's so many people that you couldn't possibly find anyone. And, you know, I was thinking, well, this is such a full circle moment because I was named after an Elton John song.
Which one?
This is such a big deal.
Which one?
Finally, when I ran into my parents at the end of the night, I'm like, well, what did he say when you told him that you named your child after one of his songs? And they said, we didn't tell him that. We forgot.
But I'd like you to meet my tiny cancer. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Guys, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, we will see more of the celebration that went on in Canada and more with the cast of Schitt's Creek after this.
And the Emmy goes to Schitt's Creek.
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 Yeah, move over, Degrassi. There's a new favorite show. That was the Victory Parade in Canada. We have the cast of Schitt's Creek with us. If you did not watch the Emmys, they won all of them. It was a record. In fact, I have the figures here. 7 Emmy wins, total of 9 for the season, most ever by a comedy in a year. First show ever to sweep all 4 acting categories. Dan and Eugene become the first father and son to win acting Emmys in the same year. And Dan, you set the record, I think, for most times your glasses fogged up on national television or international television. Did people make note of that?
The mask was it was an impossibility. I actually either was like, go blind or wear the mask, and I chose to be safe in the name of health and safety.
Eugene and Catherine, you've won an Emmy together in 1982 for one of the greatest shows of all time, SCTV, and there you guys are with Andrea Martin. What do you remember about that night? That was quite almost 40 years ago.
Well, I mean, for me, I do remember that the clip that they picked was a piece that I wrote called Perry Como Still Alive. And it was a promo for a Perry Como special, and you know, I was as Perry's in bed with the blanket pulled up singing a song. I was lying on the floor with my face down with the mic in front of my mouth, and it was a very funny piece. And I remember that the audience went crazy. They were really laughing hard when that piece went on, and I felt like $1 million. And then they announced the winner of the category, and it turned out to be a special from Lincoln Center. And I remember like an audible groan in the room. That was kind of my big memory. Catherine, what do you think? What's yours?
I can see in that picture that the wire in my leather dress was coming up, so it looks like I've drawn in a cleavage, but that's not what happened. And I remember that Milton Berle didn't know who that. I think he announced the winner like SCTV, whoever the hell they are. Nobody knew it.
Right.
Uncle Milty wasn't a fan?
He was not
He was
a
no
fan.
comedy nerd, I guess.
I guess not. Well, yeah, so, hey, do you guys, I know that it's hard not to do an impression of Eugene when you're around him a lot. I've had this experience myself. Do you guys do impersonations of Eugene? Annie, let's start with you.
Yeah. Annie, how are ya? You know, thing. Yeah. That's what I got.
Catherine?
That's mine. Who's next?
Mine is the scariest thing is to give Eugene an idea. Hey, Eugene, what if we try this? And the best part is that he'll always end up thinking about it, you know, giving it the time and coming back with a great reason why it's great or not. But when you say, Eugene, what if we try this and this?
Oh. I got the throat clear.
And that'd be good 10 minutes.
All right, Dan, go do it. He's your dad. You have to have something, right?
Well, now I just feel like because we're on this, I'm mimicking the eyebrows just alone at this point. But it is.
Yeah, you're cheating.
Yeah.
It's a. There's a lot of throat clearing.
I have a medical condition.
Since when? It's a throat clear, and that it is a pace that is slower than anything or anyone you've ever experienced, and it is a kind of lovely, slow-moving, just real slow kind of cadence that only the sweetest humans on the planet would ever quite understand. And for that, you know, that is why people gave you an Emmy last night.
But I'll tell you, it's a rhythm that scares the hell out of talk show hosts.
So, hey, will we ever see these characters again? I know you wrapped it up, but is there any possibility of anything beyond this?
I take Johnny on the road starting tomorrow.
You know, I guess it just depends on how much money people want to spend.
Okay.
No, I think, you know, obviously this has been, as I said, I think multiple times last night, the single greatest experience of my life. And obviously these people I love like family. And so for us, you know, obviously there's a kind of elegance about bowing out when people still care about you.
Yes.
So, you know, if we come back, which I hope we do in some capacity, you know, it has to be deserving of everyone's time. So that is that on that.
I hope so too. And let's also not forget the great Chris Elliott, who is on the show as well, and who is hopefully watching right now. Watch all 6 seasons of Schitt's Creek on demand on the Pop Now app or on Comedy Central starting Friday, October 2nd at 8 o'clock. Thank you all for being with us, and congratulations on the Emmys. We'll be back with Tenacious D. Thanks for watching. If you liked that video, click the subscribe button, and if you didn't like it, well, you hurt my feelings.